There's always so much going on in the world of crypto. Bitcoin's wild swings, the mystery of its creator, and the promise of blockchain transforming finance. Right now, we cut through the crypto hype to reveal what's actually going on at the moment. For more, let's head to Orlando, Florida. We're joined by Vijay Marolia from Regal Point Capital Solutions. Vijay, great to have you on Ticker. Why has Bitcoin been so volatile yet still outperformed other assets?
I think it's volatile because it's still new. It's kind of, if you imagine a toddler learning how to walk, they're probably not going to walk in a straight line. It might even look like they're under the influence, but eventually they learn how to walk. And what's happening is the market, consumers, even the institutions, and most recently the governments are all learning that the blockchain, there's genius behind it, hence the name Genius Act. And so they're learning, and the more they learn, the more the institutions get involved, the more the consumers get involved, the more that volatility will lessen over time.
Very much so, but we are seeing that everyday investors are still somewhat confused, maybe even anxious about whether or not they should get involved. Is that justified?
It is justified, and but it also saddens me. And the reason why is because we are confused about inflation. It upsets me when I hear, not your media outlet, thank God, and I appreciate everything that your team does, but people are kind of cheerleading. Oh, we beat inflation. Look how much inflation is down. But the only thing that is down is the rate of inflation, which means the cost of living continues to increase, and it hurts the people that can least afford it. And so Bitcoin and the blockchain technology that it's based on, the idea behind it is to really empower those that are getting kind of ripped off by what we call the hidden tax, which is inflation.
And that inflation has been an absolute pain. I know we're waiting for the inflation figures for the US as well, but the anxiety from investors for crypto, there's now an anxiety about missing out as well, though, isn't there? Because we're watching institutional investors get involved, and when they get involved, generally everyone says, I need to be part of this as well, which probably explains the huge rise in Bitcoin, right?
I think it's definitely part of it. And what I try to do is I try to simplify. So prices are still based over the long term on supply and demand. And if we know, which we do, that the supply of Bitcoin will be limited at 21 million. That's it. And then we just look at the demand side of the equation. And so if you have institutions getting involved, if you have new legislation, and if you have the demographic growth, all signs point towards not only more usage, but a higher price.
How do you think government-backed stablecoins actually change the game?
Well, I'm not sure how much they will change the game. I think they will change the price of ETH in the Ethereum network, because all signs point to them using that technology. So for our listeners and our viewers, Bitcoin is the original blockchain technology, but people have built on top of that. And that's the natural evolution of finance, or in any sector or industry for that matter. But with Ethereum, you can use smart contracts and tokenization. And the future is exactly that, smart contracts and tokenization.
Which is obviously something we've been waiting for a while, to see governments. But are they getting involved for the right reasons, or do you think governments are getting involved to control?
B, they're getting involved. There's an old saying, if you can't beat them, join them. So if you really look at a lot of people, they were poo-pooing on this idea not too long ago. Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan, Larry Fink of BlackRock, several government leaders, Charlie Munger, may he rest in peace. Before you understand that blockchain technology cannot be beaten, it's easy to turn your thumb down. But I think that they have been slowly but steadily been given evidence to support that this is not going away. And once again, if you can't beat them, let's join them. And that's what you see across the board.
Yeah, be a few leaders who made predictions with a bit of egg on their face. Reminds me of Steve Ballmer and saying that the iPhone won't take off. Should we worry about surveillance and control, do you think, just finally?
I think we should, yes. So the short answer is yes, but I think that we are probably giving too low of a weight to the surveillance that's already happening just with our phones in our pockets, or our Alexas or our smart assistants, just walking, depending on what street you're walking on. So the the blockchain technology, if you use it correctly, and it depends on the custodian, it depends on the goals that you have, but it actually should be a safer way if you're worried about surveillance.
Vijay, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for appearing on Ticker.
Anytime, it's an honor.